Hey guys, it's me here. And this is the first episode in our brand new series called In the Beginning. This series will explore the creation of the world as described in the first chapter of Genesis. We'll be taking a deep dive into each of these verses over several episodes, uncovering the cinematic masterpiece that is our universe and how it was made by our incredible God. Today, we're going to look at verse 14. But before we get started, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss an episode. Also, at the end of this video, we'll have a special announcement for all of our subscribers, so make sure to stick around for that. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Now, I know we've all heard this verse before, but just take a moment and let the weight of what you just heard sink in. Our God, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the God who spoke the universe into existence. He made the heavens and the earth. Everything we see around us, every mountain, valley, star, and planet, everything was created by him. And if that's not enough, look at what he did next. Verse 4 says, "And the earth was without form and void, and darkness was over the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God was hovering over the face of the waters." Let's unpack this a little bit. The word formless means without shape or structure, and the word void means empty or meaningless. So at this point, the earth was like a blank movie screen, nothing but potential. And then God began to speak, and with his voice, he brought the formless earth to life. But don't stop there. Look a little closer. The earth was not only formless and void, it was also filled with darkness. The Hebrew word for darkness here is choshek, which means deep, dark, obscure darkness. The kind of darkness that you feel when you're hiding under the covers with a flashlight trying to read the last page of your adventure book. But even in the darkness, God was there. In fact, the same word used to describe the darkness here is used later in Scripture to describe Pharaoh's treasury. Do you think God had some jewels in mind when he made the earth? Of course, he did. Think about it. God created the earth as a grand canvas upon which he could display his glory. All throughout Scripture, we see the earth being described as a jewel in God's crown, a display of his power, wisdom, and creativity. And what better way to display his glory than by placing jewels in the earth? Some people might think that God placed the jewels in the earth after he finished creating it, but that's not what the text says. In fact, it says that God created the earth with the darkness, which includes the precious jewels within it. Let's read it again. "And the earth was formless and void, and darkness was over the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God was hovering over the face of the waters." Notice the phrase Spirit of God was hovering over the face of the waters. The Hebrew word for hovering is meriphath, which means to flap or flutter like a bird. Imagine God, the creator of the universe, flapping over the earth like an eagle preparing to lay its eggs in a nest. Why would God do this? Because the earth needed warmth. At this point, it was cold, dark, and lifeless. But God's Spirit hovering over the earth brought life to the formless void. It gave the earth its shape and structure. It gave the ocean its depth, and the mountains their heights. As God continued to speak, the earth came to life. The land rose up out of the water, and the oceans receded into the valleys. Plants and trees sprouted from the ground, and animals began to roam the earth. As God continued to speak, everything that he made was good. God's masterpiece was finally complete. The earth was no longer formless and void. It was full of life, beauty, and wonder. And in the midst of it all, God placed man, the crowning jewel of his creation. So the next time you look up at the stars, or walk through the woods, or listen to the birds singing, remember that all of this was made by God. He spoke the universe into existence, and he made the earth with its precious jewels and all living things. You are a part of God's masterpiece. You are the reason why he created the universe. And we'll see you next time on In the Beginning. Hey guys, thanks for checking out the first episode of In the Beginning. If you enjoyed this episode and want to see more videos like this, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss an episode. We're releasing new episodes every week, so make sure to stay tuned. And if you want to watch the next episode now, you can become a member on our website. Thanks for watching. See you next time.